Hi there, I'm Leslie and welcome to my channel. Now today I want to talk to you about my weight loss journey, and before I started sitting down to record this, I thought I'd have a look around on YouTube to see what people were talking about in terms of their weight loss journey. And there were all kinds of varied and amazing ways, and not to say that they're all bad, not at all. Everyone believes that what they're doing is the best way of doing it. So just a disclaimer, all I'm doing is I'm sharing with you my story and how I lost 21 pounds. It took me about 3.5 months, but more importantly, I lost the weight from exactly where I wanted to lose it, which was 3 inches around my tummy and my hips and 4 inches from my waist. And these were my trouble spots. These are where I used to put on the weight all the time. Every diet I tried, it would always come back there. So not only was I able to lose that 21 pounds and those inches around the middle, but also I was able to regain some lean muscle tissue that I'd lost through previous poor dieting habits, and also been able to keep that weight off for 33 years. Now that seems like a remarkable amount of time, and it's been great because not only have I kept the weight off, but I've actually managed to get healthier and healthier and stay relatively young. Probably, you can't compare these two things, but if I had carried on the way I was going when I started, or should I say, if I carried on the way I was going when I got to the point where I thought I need to do something about my weight, I don't know where I'd be today. I would probably be, very fat, maybe very ill. I don't even want to think about it, but all I know is I'm so glad I made the decision that I made when I made it. And that's what I want to share with you today, a little bit about my journey, in the hope that it may give you another perspective and another thought about how you might want to lose your weight. And I'm certainly here to help anybody who would like to be coached by me, because now I do coach people like myself who want to get healthier and fitter, and that's become my main purpose in life, to help other people to get this wonderful youthful feeling that I have all the time. So if that's for you, great. If it's not for you, okay, switch off now. But if you'd like to hear more, listen to the end of this video, and maybe even if you're very interested, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be talking about all the different aspects of what went on over the last 33 years to give you more insight as to how you might enjoy a similar kind of life to the one that I've had. So start at the beginning. I came across Herbalife Nutrition when I was an overweight and very tired teacher. I had been trying to lose weight on and off through every kind of crazy diet ever since I was about 16, I suppose, when I started, getting into a bikini and being conscious of the way my body looked compared to my best friend. We do this as women, I think. We compare ourselves to, the person next to us that we think is better than us. And I was guilty of that. But, in a way, having that consciousness of how other people looked was also quite good to keep me in check. It didn't have the benefit of making me feel any better about myself, but nonetheless, I was looking to be a little bit slimmer and better. So that led me on a search for different ways to lose weight. And of course, what we all do is we cut back on our food, we say no to sweets, we just generally try different methods. I have to say that exercising was not my method, because I'd never been very good at any kind of sports at school, and it didn't appeal to me. Going to the swimming pool was to sunbathe, and it wasn't really to work out and keep fit. But part of that was that I had to wear something that showed my tummy. And I didn't like that. And wearing one piece was not an option. That's what, the old ladies did. So getting back to me, I would be trying all kinds of ways, all kinds of sort of salad routes. And I can remember, going out with my family, and we'd perhaps go for a meal to a Chinese, and everybody would be having all of their lovely fried noodles and things dipped in, very kind of oily sauces and things like that. And I would say, I'll have a chicken salad, please. And they'd all look at me like, are you crazy? Well, yes, I was crazy, because all I wanted to do was to make sure that I was eating this sort of fresh and healthy food and not the unhealthy stuff. And I don't want to make you feel like I was pure as a driven snow, because at the same time, I would happily be drinking alcohol and eating chocolates and drinking soft, fizzy drinks. So we try, don't we? We sort of say, okay, I want to do this thing. I want to enjoy my social life with my friends, but I'm going to sacrifice these other things that I think is going to help with the balance of everything. Well, little did I know that that was not balance. That was just, guessing and a bad way of trying to control my weight. So move on through the years. I worked as a teacher, and teachers know everything, by the way, so don't try and tell a teacher anything. We all know what we know and believe that it's the best. But anyway, that's another story. But so as a teacher, I used to rush into work. I'd wake up, I'm not a morning person, but I'd wake up with the alarm, jump out of bed, get dressed in as short a period of time as possible, drive to work, and oh, what happened to breakfast? No time for breakfast. So that was my deal with starting my day in terms of food. When I got to mid-morning lunch break, coffee break, I remember we used to always there was a lovely lady who used to make coffees and teas to our exact specification. But morning time in the staff room was always coffee with boiled milk. Ooh, can't even imagine anything worse now. But anyway, that's what she used to make. She would boil up a nice pan of hot milk and pour it into the coffee, and people would put 2 or 3 spoonfuls of sugar. I can just see these teachers sitting in the staff room at 10:30 in the morning. Oh, I need my cup of coffee to keep me going. Well, I was very good. I would say, no, I'm not having that. I'll have black coffee. That was my start of the day. Black coffee, no sugar. So everyone else was drinking their milky coffees, and I felt like I was doing the right thing. And then when it came to lunchtime, I wouldn't have a school dinner, of course. I would have my own little box of lunch, which would have consisted of something like cottage cheese, maybe some Ryvita with Marmite, and an apple. Those 3 things. That would be my lunch. And then I would have, what did I drink? Probably a cup of tea. I can't even remember. And then that would really have been my first meal of the day. Then I would go home, having had, maybe there was an afternoon cup of tea at afternoon break. But again, I often thought, no, I won't bother with that. I'll just work on so that I can be ready to go home quicker. And as I was driving home most days, there would be this battle between me and my hunger and my cravings. It would be a case of, shall I stop and get myself a packet of crisps and some Mars bars, or no, I'll go on a bit further. But there was always this decision point of, I'm passing that shop where it's really quite nice to go in and grab myself a Mars bar. Anyway, most times I would go and buy a Mars bar on my way home. And because I was just feeling like I was expiring. And, that kind of, don't have the strength to drive home. So I would then go and have not 1 Mars bar, but 2. Because 1 Mars bar just disappeared like that. It was remarkable how, you eat something and it just doesn't touch the sides. Ever feel like that? I did a lot, and so I'd have to buy 2 Mars bars to actually feel like it was making any kind of a difference. Then I'd get home, and on the days when I didn't stop and have a Mars bar, if I got home, the first thing I would do, put the kettle on, make a cup of tea, sit down, slump into the sofa, and start on the McVitie's biscuits. We all know that McVitie's plain chocolate digestive biscuits are the favourite biscuit of the UK. I don't know about the rest of the world, but if you haven't tried a chocolate digestive by McVitie's, you haven't lived. However, I would go through about half a packet of those, and by that point I would probably just fall off to sleep on the settee. Now we're talking like I've just got in from work. It's about 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'd sleep for maybe 30 to 40 minutes, then get up, and then it was time to have dinner. So I would cook some dinner, being very good, no takeaways. I would cook dinner. What would I have for dinner? Maybe sausage, mash, and beans, maybe pasta, peas, broccoli, and maybe sometimes spaghetti bolognese, maybe sometimes fish and chips, what I would call a normal average kind of person's meal. Then I'd be exhausted and it was time to have a bath and go to bed. So tired, so exhausted, I'd lie in the bath and look down at this tummy and think, oh my God, I look like a beached whale. I've got to do something about my diet. And the next day would be the same. Black coffee, Ryvita and crisp, Ryvita and Marmite or something like that, some kind of chocolate snack, and an evening meal. And that would be my routine. And I would stay overweight until I'd think, right, it's time to have another purge. And honestly, I've been through grapefruit diets, cabbage soup diets, some kind of, I've done the, because I liked Mars bars so much, I did the Mars bar and Guinness diet, which is not a real diet, but I made it up because, they used to advertise a Mars a day helps you work, rest and play. And they'd also say that, Guinness was very good to give you lots of iron and make you strong, and it meant that I could still have a social life. So tried all those various things. None of them really worked. They all gave me some kind of short-term feeling of I was doing something about my weight, but long-term, I did occasionally join up to some aerobics classes, and I'd go along there and jump about for about 45 minutes, come out. Where would be the first place I would go? I'd go to the pub with my lady friends who were also jumping about, and because we'd been so good, we'd have half a pint of Guinness and a packet of crisps. Well, if you add it up, again, we're into this kind of like, plus and minus thing. You're doing this to have some exercise, notionally to lose some weight, and then you do this other thing because you've been so good. So you're back to square one, back to zero. So anyway, long story, but I'm telling you all of these things in case you identify with any of those kind of feelings of uncertainty, not really knowing what to do about your weight, and just having to maybe accept that, that's the way you are. So I won't even go into how I used to feel when going out for meals or what Christmas was like. I'll save that for another video perhaps. But anyway, today I'm going to conclude with the fact that when I reached about 36 years of age, I came across Herbalife Nutrition. And by then I'd already got to the point where I wasn't, I was never really obese, but I was always kind of like rounded. You'll see in my, I'll post a photograph of how I used to look. So it was always on the tummy and I could never really lose it. But when I came across Herbalife Nutrition, I was told you can still eat your favorite foods and lose weight. And I thought, that's never going to happen. I love chocolate. I definitely don't like exercise, and I don't eat very much anyway. So how could that make any difference to me? Anyway, it did. I went on to lose 1.5 stone, 21 pounds, 10 kilos, however you want to call it. The 4 inches from my waist and the 3 inches from my tummy and my hips just melted away. And it was the easiest thing I had ever done. And I can honestly say that I have helped hundreds of women over the years with the same program that I used to lose weight. And basically, I've been the living, walking, talking example that it works, and I know how it's done. And maybe I'm not an expert on nutrition, but I certainly am an expert on helping women and men who have similar problems to me, which is not necessarily an obesity problem. Let's face it, we all need to just keep an eye on our weight. If you're already obese, I'm sure we can help you. But the point is, the majority of people who want to lose some weight don't have a clue of what to do. But we have the answer here. So I can definitely help you with this. Get in touch with me, or if you know someone who's already your Herbalife coach, trust them, believe them, just go with the flow. Trust the process, because these products are magic. They have been designed by experts in the world of nutrition. And what do we know? What do we know about nutrition? We just all fumble around in the dark most of the time. But we, the coaches, know that we've tried these products, used these products, and feel so amazing on these products, and you can too. So, don't go crazy about trying all these mad ways of trying to lose weight. They don't all work. Some do short term, but I can honestly say that this one does it long term. You can become wonderfully healthy long term and completely in control of your weight, and feel fabulous in whatever you're wearing, and feel energetic whatever you're doing. So follow my journey, subscribe to this channel, and I will enlighten you each time I see you. So that's part one of my weight loss journey. I look forward to enlightening you some more. Please do subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and send me some of your comments, because I'd be really happy to hear your questions and your thoughts on what I've said so far. All right then, bye for now.